An exoskeleton weapon engineered by Japan, Infinite Stratos IS, can be piloted only by women. Its power and combat prowess are so immense that an international treaty has been signed banning its use as a military asset. When it is discovered that 15-year-old Ichika Orimura is the only male capable of steering an IS, he is forcibly enrolled in the Infinite Stratos Academy, an all-female boarding school, the students of which graduate to become IS pilots. Guided by the legendary pilot Shifuyu Orimura, their strict homeroom teacher and Ichika's older sister, Ichika and the girls will need to use everything at their disposal to defend themselves and their academy against the dangers that will arise during the course of their thrilling school life. Guess what kind of threat Ichika and the girls will face? Watch till the end. In this training school, Ichika reunites with his childhood friend, Hooky Shinanono. Reuniting after 6 years creates an awkward situation between them. Ichika also befriends Cecilia Alcott, the representative of IS from England, a girl who is a little arrogant because she considers her higher status as a noble. After school, Ichika looks for a dorm room, which happens to be Hooky's roommate, again creates an awkward and embarrassing moment that makes Hooky want to beat up Ichika. Hooky makes a demarcation to put boundaries in their room. Even so, if a girl and a boy are in the same room, something like this might happen. Shifuyu held a vote for representatives who would take part in the interclass tournament and at the same time become their class president. Almost all of the students voted for Ichika, but Cecilia didn't accept it because, according to her, choosing a boy among many talented girls was a shame. Offended by Ichika's words, Cecilia challenged Ichika to a battle IS to determine who is the class representative. Ichika was laughed at by the whole class because he thought he could easily beat Cecilia, even though in that era the female pilot IS was superior to the male. Due to Ichika not having a personal suit, Shifuyu asked the academy to make IS especially for him, a rare thing for the first-year student, because personal suits are usually only owned by the elite or representatives of a country. There are only 467 IS in the whole world. That's because the core IS can only be made by one person, Tabane Shinanono, Hooky's older sister. Unfortunately, Hooky doesn't have a personal suit because of her poor relationship with her older sister. Ichika asks Hooky for help to teach him about IS because he didn't fully understand. At first, Hooky refused. After a girl offered to help teach Ichika, she changed her mind and agreed to teach him. Instead of IS, Hooky taught Ichika kendo for a whole week. She took Ichika to a place to get his personal IS named Byakushiki. His battle with Cecilia immediately began. At first, Ichika had trouble receiving attacks from Cecilia, but Ichika was able to adapt, and reading the opponent's attack made it easy for him to dodge. Even so, he was still hit by a heavy attack which was saved by his personal suit, which transformed at the right moment. The transformation increased the level of his sword to become stronger. When Ichika was about to do his last attack, suddenly the IS shield was reduced drastically, becomes 0, which signifies victory for Cecilia. The attack carried out by Ichika is a barrier nullification attack that can make the opponent lose in one slash. But the user will lose the barrier, which can be fatal. In other words, Ichika's personal suit is a defective model. In a training, Shifuyu asked Cecilia and Ichika to demonstrate their skills as IS pilots because only the two of them had personal suits. Cecilia, who was more experienced, had no problems demonstrating it, while Ichika had a bit of trouble, so he had an accident when he was about to land. Cecilia suddenly came to see his state, which indicated that she was starting to have feelings for Ichika, which of course started her feud with Hooky. They were all celebrating Ichika's election as the class representative. Why is that? Because Cecilia chose to withdraw for reasons that you can probably guess. As a normal boy, Ichika should be able to hold back his dirty thoughts. When he heard Hooky change into her nightgown, the students were gossiping about the Class 2 representatives, who suddenly changed their class representatives to a student transfer from China. A moment later, the student appears, and Ichika immediately recognizes that she is his childhood friend named Fan Reinen or Lingyin Huang. Ichika and Rin reunited when they rested in the cafeteria. Ichika recalled when he wanted to enroll in a normal high school, he instead entered a room that had IS there. Out of curiosity, he touched the IS and accidentally activated it. That's the reason why Ichika finally entered Infinite Stratos Academy. The girls started to be unhappy with the closeness between the two of them. But the most unhappy were Hookie and Cecilia. Hookie used IS, which was mass-produced by Japan to help Ichika train. They were also accompanied by Cecilia, who was unwilling if Ichika trained alone with Hookie. Before going to bed, Rin came to Hookie's room to change rooms with her because she knew that Hookie shared a room with Ichika. Hookie certainly didn't want to change rooms with her, which caused a dispute between them. But it quickly subsided after Rin questioned her promise with Ichika, because Ichika forgot with the promise first. Then, in exchange, whoever loses in the interclass tournament must obey the request of the winner. 1 week later, the interclass tournament started. In the first round, Ichika directly faced Rin, as additional information that Rin's IS was along with a close-range fighting type similar to his. The battle of the two was quite exciting, and was successfully dominated by Rin. However, Ichika managed to gain momentum to add acceleration, which would be his ultimate attack. Suddenly, the shield was pierced by a foreign attack originating from an unidentified IS. Ichika assumed that the attack was from the Unmanned IS because it didn't respond to his call. Ichika planned to hold back the Unmanned IS until the students were evacuated while waiting for help to arrive for him. However, the Unmanned IS managed to hijack the system that kept them locked in there, meaning that there would be no help for Ichika, although they had made several attacks. In fact, the two of them did not deal any significant damage to the Unmanned IS at all, until Ichika's shield is only slightly left. It gives Ichika's idea to make a strategy by sucking in Rin's attack, which will turn it into energy for his sword. But the attack is only able to eliminate the IS right hand. Just before Ichika will be killed, Cecilia had indeed been waiting for the right chance to finally attack the Unmanned IS in full force. Apparently, it's still not enough until IS and Ichika both make the final attack. Ichika gets treatment after the battle. He wakes up just as Rin was about to kiss him. Her agitated fades after they tell each other past memories when they were still at elementary school. In the lab, their teacher, Maya, identifies the Unmanned IS and concludes that the IS has an unregistered core compared to the other 467 IS cores. The following night, Maya ordered Hookie to move to another room that was already available because the school did not allow the opposite sex to sleep in the same room. Hookie immediately agreed after Ichika said a sentence that annoyed her. But soon Hookie came back again and asked Ichika out on a date if she could win the all-class individual tournament. The three girls, who were eavesdropping on their conversation, were getting ready to spread gossip to all the students. The rumor spread quickly throughout the girls, but there was a misunderstanding where they assumed whoever won the all-class individual tournament could date Ichika. Before starting the class, Maya introduced a transfer student from France, Charles Dunois. The girls looked overjoyed to see another boy besides Ichika. Ichika took Charles to the men's changing room because they were going to practice. Before they got there, they were blocked by the girls, who was curious about the new guy. But they managed to escape and get to the men's changing room. There's just something odd about Charles, who doesn't want to change clothes together with Ichika, even though they are the same sex. Before practice started, a foreign object fell from the sky, which turned out to be Maya-sensei. She fell right on Ichika to make Ichika's fingers feel comfortable holding her épée. Of course, it made Cecilia and Rin feel burning. The three of them then did the practice, and as a result, the two students lost badly to Maya. It shows a big difference significant between teacher and student pilot abilities. As someone who has a personal suit, Ichika, Rin, and Cecilia were asked to explain and teach their other friends. Charles was placed in the same room as Ichika because they were the same gender. Maya introduces a transfer student from Germany as well as a former student of Shifuyu, Laura Bodwig. Suddenly, she approaches and slaps Ichika without warning, while saying that she does not recognize Ichika as Shifuyu's brother. In a practice, Ichika had to lose against Charles. It was because Ichika is not able to handle long-range weapons. Charles is an analytical person. Explains some of Ichika's problems so that he understands immediately after listening to Charles. Plus, Charles kindly teaches Ichika how to shoot weapons. Suddenly Laura comes interrupting their practice and challenges Ichika to do battle. Laura had to give up her intentions because the school security caught them. Ichika, who just came home from school, intends to give body wash to Charles, who is taking a bath. But instead, he saw Charles's real body, which turned out to be a girl. Ichika tried to act normal, so that the awkwardness between them wouldn't get worse. Things gradually returned to normal until Charles revealed the reason she disguised herself as a boy was because he was ordered by her father to investigate Ichika, even though her father is not her real father. After hearing the story of Charles, who was ignored by her father only for his personal interests, Ichika feels sympathy for Charles. She intends to return to Germany because her disguise has been exposed, but Ichika asks her to stay in the school and will keep it a secret. Cecilia, who wanted to train with Rin, was instead invited to battle by Laura. She used the German third-generation IS called Schwarzer Regen, arguably a newer generation than Cecilia and Rin's. As a result, Laura won a landslide victory against the two of them. Ichika couldn't bear to see his friends were hurt, joined forces to defeat Laura, who looked arrogant with her abilities, as well as Charles, who entered the arena to help Ichika. But Laura was still too overpowered for them, so Shifuyu was forced to come to break them up. When Ichika and Charles visited Cecilia's condition in Rin, suddenly the girls burst into the room to ask that they could be partners in the interclass tournament, but Ichika prefers to partner with Charles in order to keep her identity a secret. The interclass tournament finally started. Ichika and Charles were surprised to learn that their first opponent was Laura, who was paired with Hooky. Even so, the chemistry between Ichika and Charles was able to make them work well together to trouble Laura. But Hooky was also able to support Laura to put up a fight. Even so, Laura only thought of Hooky as a burden, not a partner. So Ichika and Charles' combination attack overwhelmed Laura. Forcing herself to remember the past memories she went through hard, her IS transformed into a form that resembled a very overpowered Shifuyu. Ichika didn't accept it if Laura imitates her older sister, venting anger, but still unable to fight her until Charles gives the remaining energy from her IS to Ichika. He goes into part mode to be able to defeat the IS and save Laura. Charles followed Ichika, who was taking a bath, to reveal her real name as Charlotte. In the classroom, Maya reintroduced Charlotte Dunois in front of the students. Rin, who was angry because she just found out about the fact, tried to attack Ichika, but she was saved by Laura, who immediately kissed her, making the whole crowd the class was surprised by that. Hooky contacted her older sister, Tabane, who had prepared a fourth-generation personal suit for her named Akatsubaki. Ichika was shocked when he woke up to see Laura sleeping with him. Hooky, who broke into his room, was also set on fire by seeing the scene of the two of them. Charlotte asked Ichika to accompany her shopping for swimsuits because they are going on vacation, without realizing that the two of them are being followed by Rin, Cecilia, and Laura. They all went on a vacation to the beach, but because there was nothing really interesting about this vacation other than Ichika being asked to smear Cecilia's body and the girls wearing bikinis, so I'll just skip this part. Basically, this vacation strengthens Ichika's relationship with his harem. At dinner, Cecilia seemed to have a hard time sitting in a Saiza style, so it was difficult for her to eat. Ichika helped her by feeding Cecilia, which made the girls jealous. For causing a commotion, they were all scolded by Shifuyu, and as compensation, Ichika would feed Cecilia in his room. When Cecilia was going to Ichika's room, she saw Hooky, Laura, Rin, and Charlotte, who were eavesdropping on Ichika's room. They thought that Ichika and Shifuyu were doing that. Yeah, you know what I mean? They accidentally broke the door and saw Ichika, who was massaged his older sister, Shifuyu. The following morning, Ichika saw Hooky, who was reading a message on a wooden board which turned out to be an activation device to summon Hooky's older sister, Tabane, who came to the place because she wanted to meet Hooky. Shifuyu gathered those who had personal IS suits to do a trial while looking at the fourth-generation IS, which is the latest generation, Akatsubaki. The trials had not yet started. They instead get a sudden A-level mission to stop the unmanned IS from going out of control. They immediately gathered to strategize against the IS by appointing Ichika as their attack finisher because Ichika's attack was the most powerful. They then carried out the mission according to this strategy, but only Ichika and Hooky would do it. With Akatsubaki's incredible speed and satellite assistance, they easily find the unmanned IS and start attacking it. But Ichika sees a ship and tries to protect it. Hooky forbids it because it is a criminal ship. Ichika lectures her that she has to protect anyone because she has the power for it, making Hooky feel guilty. The unmanned IS attack Hooky in an unprepared condition, forcing Ichika to protect her. Ultimately, the mission is declared a failure. After that incident, Ichika's condition was critical. Hooky blamed herself for what happened to Ichika and didn't want to be an IS pilot anymore. But Rin and her other friends managed to encourage her that it wasn't her fault. They then devised a plan to chase the unmanned IS even though it violated Shifuyu's rules. The girls immediately tracked the whereabouts of the unmanned IS and attacked it with their combined attacks. On the other hand, in Ichika's unconsciousness, he met an unknown girl. He also met the legend of IS, the White Knight, who offers him a stronger power, and at the same time asks Ichika's purpose of using that power, and Ichika's answer is to protect his companions. Returning to the battle between the girls against the unmanned IS that had overwhelmed the girls greatly, Ichika suddenly appeared to help them with the IS, which had evolved to level 2 just like the girls' own. Their battle lasted quite a while, but by working together and an epic combination attack that finally they were able to defeat the unmanned IS with the final strike of Ichika's sword. Although they had defeated the unmanned IS, they had to get punished for disobeying orders. Shifuyu was actually relieved that they all survived. At night, when the students were having dinner, Ichika and Hooky were alone on the beach. The moment Ichika's wanted to kiss Hooky, they were both caught by Ichika's other harem, forcing them to run away from there. Infinite Stratos ends here. If you like harem and mecha-themed anime with comedy, I recommend you to watch this anime. I also recommend you to watch the video that appears on the end screen of this video. So may you always be healthy, and see you later.